Hello, hello, hello. Checking in with chapters 32, 32, I think, to 43 of the Gangster, book number 6 in the Galactic Football League series, which is very much not futuristic football this season. I mean, it all centers around Quentin Barnes, the star quarterback of the Ionath Krakens, and various gigantic global things of a invasion fleet from outside of the galaxy coming in, the Abernathy, Petra Prowett, a kind of living god, not living god, a old one god of kind of uploaded intelligence of a woman from sort of a young woman from our time, who is now the god of the Prowett, kind of organic mechanical beings. Um, there's a Krediakian empire that holds fearsome sway over basically all the kind of over all the various places, other than Petra Prowett, who's actually is actually independent because of where they are, and because it's the Gngstr, Greek Greetog, Greetog, oh, Splithead, the Gngstr, who basically is like, once Quentin Barnes is done as useful as a thing, he is going to torture him, probably amputate all his limbs, and then butcher all of his loved ones. This is something that's come really to the fore in this book. The other ones, it's like he was a heavy, and he had kind of pleasingly dark, but he did despicable things, but not that despicable of things. It's gotten very dark in this book. Quentin has gotten picked up by the Creterakian Empire and put into a secret prison where he is being tortured for the last 3 weeks. All on Greetog's testimony, because he's like, okay, you're no longer useful to me. I'm going to put you in a black hole where the Creterakians will torture you for ever and ever, until they kill you, and your pregnant wife is on the run from them. But Barnes gets freed. That the help that was coming turned out to be his father and his kind of crew of people, the space star jammers, to use a X-Men Cyclops father's reference, and breaks him out, and, well, actually doesn't go anywhere, because it turns out that they'd broken out somebody else and hadn't paid for it from their inside source, and their inside source is now not letting them leave without getting money. And Barnes comes up with the whole thing of getting Greedock, there we go, Greedock to come to basically get Barnes, tell him that Barnes wants to beg for mercy, and that, demand payment for this service of bringing him thing. And he believes it. They bring him there, bring him into the cell. They get the information that basically that Greedock figured all this out for himself with investigators. It wasn't Masal the efficient, his assistant, who had betrayed Barnes. But also let him know that once this is all over, he's going to pay as well. He's going to be punished as well in most horrifically fucking brutal ways. And it says, okay, you're going to step out of the cell, and all your goons, Vrak, and other Virak and other massive, super powerful, super violent alien creatures are going to all stay in the cell. It's like, no, that's not going to happen. And yeah, Barnes is the one who fucks it up, who doesn't get him there, get him out, explodes into violence. Greedock gets the upper hand. They basically get it to the point where they blow the head off of the woman who was going to, whose money was all this in. Yeah, brains splattered everywhere. Really, really horrific. And it's like, okay, we're going to make a deal. And that deal is basically, I'm going to cut off Barnes's thumb, and you'll, and I'll let you all go. Which of course he won't. He'll come back. He plays the long lane. He'll come back and get them all, and everybody else, all the loved ones, and tells Virak to do that. And he says, Barnes says to Virak, don't do it. And that's enough. Virak shoots his other compatriot, Killian, Barnes's father, gets the gun out of Greedock, and they've got the upper hand now. And it's like, you're gonna recant your thing. It's like, I'm not gonna. And Greedock's like, I'm not gonna recant anything. I've been horribly, horribly fucking tortured and never broken. I am the one kind of species, the one kind of beings that don't break under torture. You're never gonna get anything out of me. So what are you gonna do now? Bore me to death? You know? And it's like, and Masal the Efficient is cowering in the corner, shaking like crazy because he knows what's coming and what's Barnes going to do. I have to say, I think we're unfortunately getting a bit of a crossover for me, because I tried one of Scott Sigler's other books and I just didn't enjoy it that much. Like this, the GFL series has been the only series of his that I've actually enjoyed. And I think it's because the GFL series has been science fiction sport, but his other books are very much kind of techno, kind of thriller, really brutal, kind of George R.R. Martin kind of, there's the physics involved. He's not, if things are going to go bad, they're going to go bad this way, and you're just not going to get out of things. And there's a lot of blood and guts and certain kind of just a kind of cold violence, which just isn't my thing. And unfortunately, that is now being kind of put into the GFL books. And I mean, I'm not going to give up the GFL books, but it's like it kind of it reifies my thoughts of, no, I don't really like Sigler outside of this. I find him too hard edged, or the violence and the kind of, which is interesting. I'm not like, I'm an anti-violence guy, but there's something about it that it's just too much for me. Which is funny because like I actually enjoy George R. R. Martin. I enjoy Joe Abercrombie, but there's something about this that just, especially maybe it's because it's getting introduced into the GFL. Not introduced, but it's coming to the fore in the GFL. It's kind of curdling things a little bit for me. So I guess I will have to see how things go along. I think I will continue with the series because I just, I care about Quentin Barnes and stuff like that. But it's like, whoa, yeah, yeah, it's interesting. That's definitely kind of a bad taste that I don't think I like. Yeah, yeah, and I think that's what I've gotten from other of his books. Actually, he did a comedic series with a family of kind of ghost hunters, which I enjoyed because that didn't have that in it. But some of his kind of more, yeah, hardcore techno thriller, militaristic kind of thriller things, it's like, yeah, just wasn't for me. That's interesting. All right, more videos later.